Hugging the dolphin-dappled waters of Tampa Bay on the coast of the Mexican Gulf, this city spread out over the one-time domain of the Seminole Indians is a fantastic fusion of history, Floridian culture, and modern attractions. On its northern fringes, the landscapes are dominated by the alligator-peppered waterways and wild bayous of the Hillsborough River, while the loop-de-loops, vertical drops, and exotic animal exhibits of iconic Busch Gardens soon take over. Closer to the downtown and an all-new Riverwalk bustles with food vendors touting southern barbecues and all-American mac and cheeses. Today we share the top 10 best things to do in Tampa so you can plan a trip and experience all the exciting attractions and activities this beautiful city has to offer. Starting with number 10, ride into the wilds at Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens remains one of the most iconic theme parks in America. First opened in 1959, the attraction has since swelled to cover a whopping 136 hectares on the northern fringes of Tampa. It's famed for its fusion of adrenaline-pumping roller coasters and wildlife exhibitions, with the legendary Serengeti Plain enclosure hailing in as one of the first in the world to offer animals free roaming in a mock-up of their original habitat. At the same time, the rides include the likes of the Moroccan-themed Gwazi, dipping and dropping at 51 miles per hour, jungle zip lines, and loop-de-loops. At number 9 is the Florida Aquarium. With exhibitions focused on the wetland habitats of Florida itself, complete with snapping gators, exotic otters, and a duo of particularly formidable Burmese pythons. Along with sections dedicated to shoreline ecosystems and collections detailing the character of the deep ocean, the Florida Aquarium is the go-to place in Tampa for exploring the sea. Other draws include a 60-foot-long coral garden that's awash with a kaleidoscope of colorful tropical fish and underwater plant life, and organized swim with the fishes excursions that immerse visitors in the environments of the dry Tortugas reefs. At number 8, the Adventure Island Water Park. Joined at the hip to uber-popular Busch Gardens on the northern fringes of Tampa, the Adventure Island Water Park is a fine place to cool off on those sultry summer days. With an overarching tropical theme, the park comes complete with lagoons built to look like the bayous of the Deep South, slides inspired by the backcountry of the Florida Everglades, manufactured beaches following the fashion of the sands of the Mexican Gulf, and Caribbean-flavored attractions like the twists and turns of the Calypso coaster flume. At number 7, the Henry B. Plant Museum. Housed in one glorious Victorian mansion, a fusion of Old English, Baroque, and Oriental motifs that was once the south wing of the famous Tampa Bay Hotel on the grounds of the Tampa University campus. This acclaimed museum is home to a series of fascinating collections that chronicle the rise of the city as one of the Sunshine State's premier tourist destinations throughout the last 2 centuries. Moreover, the institution is surrounded by beautifully manicured gardens. Each was dotted with honorific statues and carved fountains, one colossal old cannon from the Spanish-American War. At number 6 in our list, the Tampa Riverwalk. Curving its way right through the heart of Tampa downtown as the Hillsborough River gives way to the water channels of the Garrison Channel, this lively stretch of promenade is one of the nerve centers of local and cultural action in Cigar City. Starting with the play pools and fountains of Waterworks Park in the north and running to the manicured lawns of Cotanchobe Fort Brooke Park in the south, the Sunsplash Strip hosts countless picnic spots and food trucks. There are also oodles of museums and shops and the Channelside Bay Plaza eateries. At number 5, the ZooTampa at Lowry Park. This acclaimed zoo has showcased exotic critters and animals to the folk of Tampa since the 1950s. In the last decades, it's grown and expanded immensely and now includes exhibitions like the Asian Gardens. The Safari Africa enclosure and the primate world, with black and white colubuses, lion tamarins, and lemurs swinging about the place. Extra activities include getting up close and personal with endangered tortoises, several rides, and feeding programs. At number 4, the Hillsborough River State Park. A great big wedge of quintessentially Sunshine State wilds those butts up to the northern edge of Tampa City. The Hillsborough River State Park is a patchwork of vine-draped bayous and wetlands, gigantic oak hammocks, and mangroves, all hooting with the sounds of tropical birds and the splash of the occasional river alligator. Today, people flock to canoe through the waterways, cycle the winding tracks, walk the boardwalks of the Wetlands Restoration Trail, unravel tales of the Seminole Wars at the on-site interpretive center, and more. At number 3 in our list, take a dolphin tour into Tampa Bay. At once bustling with commercial shipping and a kaleidoscope of marine wildlife, the waters of Port Tampa Bay offer a unique opportunity for travelers to catch a glimpse of wild dolphins in their natural habitat. Tours are run by a whole host of companies, many on charming little catamarans that weave around the parks and coastal contours of the bay, offering prime viewing spots from their two-tiered decks. Given the abundance of dolphin pods in the waters of the Mexican Gulf here, many operators tout dolphin guarantees. At number 2, the University of South Florida Tampa campus. This sprawling university campus is the nerve center for the University of South Florida in Tampa. Home to more than 30,000 students during term time, its forever expanding grounds encompass more than 160 buildings and some of the most respected research institutions in the Sunshine State. Daily tours are offered by student guides when the college is in session, while simply taking a stroll around the fountain-dotted campus, between the racquetball courts and meandering water channels of the Hillsborough River, is a pleasure in itself. Check out the number 1 places in our list, the streets of historic Ybor City. Once upon a time, the area of Ybor City was the cigar factory for all of America. Immigrants flooded here in the late 19th century to roll cheroots and smoke in the famous red brick factories, all until the Great Depression slowed manufacturing and the area eventually shut down. The shells of the old cigar mills have been transformed into nightclubs, independent bars, cocktail joints, microbreweries, and bespoke restaurants. Art galleries have sprung up in abandoned depots, and the industrial chic builds on 7th Avenue now tout a coveted place on America's National Register of Historic Places. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite things to do in Tampa? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.